guys, I thought I'd share with you some quick embellishments that you can make yourself. These are stamped embellishments. So I'm just using some distressed inks here, old paper, vintage photo and walnut stain. And this one I'm doing basically blending some the ink onto the, I think that's a 3x4 card, the pre-cut. Just a piece of white cardstock, and I'm simply just trying to age it up a bit, and just use the old worn paper to age that up. Now I'm just grabbing my wood grain stamp, and I'm just applying it to a block here. And I think that's vintage photo. And what I'm just going to do is just simply stamp down the page and just basically creating a wood grained background. Just lining it up in a different area, just so it doesn't all look repetitive down the card. And there you have it. Just grabbing the ink blending tool and once again just adding in a little bit of the darker colour now, and just to give it a bit more of a tone on tone look. Okay, for this next one I'm just going to use some Lindy stamp game. That's Cape Cod Coral, Saltwater Taffy, Turby Tuxpan Teal, Shabby Teal of some sort, Mad Hatter Mint. Their names, I stumble over their names all the time. Okay. So I'm just giving it a good shake up just to mix the mica in. There's a shimmer ones, so and now I'm just adding them. You notice that the card is bowing, but that's not a great deal. It will flatten back out again when you dry it. And just dabbing that onto the craft sheet just to pick up some of that colour, just adding some droplets basically, excess, and just giving it a bit of a sort of watery look. Just cleaning up a bit and just set that aside to dry as well. Oh, grab my heat gun. Oh, words. And just drying it off. It's helping speed up that process of drying. You can see it's almost flattened out completely there now. So now just adding a few, I sort of wanted the bigger splotchy bits on that. Spraying it into the lid and then flicking it is a good way of getting some splodges, or just a really slow squeeze on the trigger will also work. But you will also get some fine mist as well, showing it that way. Yeah, it's got the heat gun and just hitting it with the heat gun to try and get that to set nicely. If you sort of save off on the dabbing off with paper towel, and just dry it with a heat gun or just let it air dry, you'll get a really watery sort of looking droplet, and the shimmer will sit nicely on that droplet too. Whereas if you were to dab it, you'd lose some of the shimmer from the mica powder, as well as that watery look. So it's best just to leave it if you're after that look. So I'm just adding some of more of the pinker colours back into that again. It lost a bit of the pink when I added the teal colours. And try not to get a muddy colour, but and just to try and get the 2 layers of the 2 colours. And just adding some gold Heidi Swap Colour Shine. Give it a good shake to mix the mica in. And I just grab the top off that one and just flick the colour on. And same with this, if you let it to air dry or use a heat gun, it will dry, like you'll get a better look on the splashes than if you were to dab it with paper towel. Chasing the piece of paper around it. Alright, so there you go, we've got a nice little splotchy piece of card. Okay, just grabbing a spare bit of cardstock here, and I'm just aging that up with the ink blending tool. Oh, my finger's getting filthy here. And once again, just using that wood grain stamp and just stamping it to make it look all wooden, I guess. Alright, so this time, cleaning off my stamp and things. Trying to be a good girl. Yeah, so that's a Amy Tangerine stamp, I believe. Just using that ampersand, just stamping it up in the walnut stain and stamping that on there. And now I will go around that with a pair of scissors and just cut it out, and you've got a wood grained looking ampersand. Just looking through my other stamps here, my other Amy Tangerine, and I think it was, I can't think, Maggie Holmes, no, I can't think now who the other stamp was. You saw briefly then. So I'm just stamping up a couple of those. I did one in the walnut stain and one in the vintage photo, I think. There, just you can see all the different darknesses, yeah, different shades of brown. And just using that little flag stamp as well, just to get the most out of that piece that I made look wood grain. Just using that flag stamp just to outline the piece. Alright, I'm putting my stamps back and cleaning them up. That's amazing. Okay, and using this Dear Lizzie, I want to say. I hope I'm right. Mason jar stamp. Super cute. I think I used, what did I use? Archival ink there, just to stamp that one. And then I grab, what do I grab? Brushes. That's a very big brush. Oh yeah, okay, just spraying some of the mist on that craft mat, picking it up with the brush, and off camera, I am painting in that mason jar, which I'll show you in a second. There you go. So I didn't worry about staying within the lines on that, except I didn't go into the lid part of that mason jar stamp, because the idea is to make these embellishments, so I'm not worried about staying within the lines, because I will be cutting them out. And this one I'm just using, I just put that directly to the paper, the craft mat. That was one of the brown distress inks, and then I picked it up with a water brush, and that one's just filled with water. And just do it again, just adding a bit of shading colour to the lid there, and a bit different darker colours just to bring that in. Basically just giving it a watercolour look to the top of the lid. It adds shading as well. And I'm just looking at using these little stamps as well, these little strawberries. And I tried this technique of using a bit of the spray mist. It doesn't work. It is too runny. It just doesn't work. You kind of get a bit of a blob, but yeah. It was something new I tried. I'd never done it before, so I thought I'd give it a go, but it was a bit of a fail. So not sure what I do now. Alright, go back to the drawing mat. I go and get some of other colours of the distress inks, and I just stamp them on there. But I find distress inks and cling stamps, like clear cling stamps, don't work very well. You get a really watercolory look. So I toss that aside because I'm not too happy with it. What's what I do next? Use some ink out. Trying to fit the brush in there, doesn't work. Oh yeah, so I'll spray this sheet again and just brushing it all over the card, I think. Yeah. You see me picking up the colour, but you can't see me doing anything else. Yeah, just brushing in that turquoisey colour all over the card. And then, what do I do? Oh yep, that mason jar stamp, just ink it up with the archival. And then stamp it on. I decided to leave this one empty. Now try and put the little strawberries and things in it. And just adding some of the brown with the watercolor brush, or the water brush, just to the lid. And just add a little bit of shading to the jar as well. So just took a bit too much colour at the top there, but no, I just blend it out with the water brush. So now I cut out all the shapes and different pieces that I made, and this is what I ended up with. So quite a few different embellishments there. And I'll show you a close-up here in a moment of how I use them, and you can see a full video of that if you look for Project Life week 2, maybe 3. Yeah, the video from either 2 or 3. I can't remember which one off the top of my head, but there's a close-up for you. Alright, thanks for watching, bye.